All right, let's dive right in. The world of AI is moving at an absolutely incredible pace, isn't it? And if you're trying to keep up, just reading the headlines isn't going to cut it. You need a strategic view. So that's what we're doing today, a rapid fire 360-degree briefing on what actually matters, where AI is right now, and more importantly, where it's headed. Let's get to it.
The big story in AI right now is really a tale of two extremes. It's like a two-sided coin. On one side, you've got these incredible world-changing breakthroughs, just accelerating everything. But you flip it over and you're facing these really complex, society-shaking challenges. And honestly, it's that tension, that constant push and pull, that's defining the entire field.
And this isn't some abstract idea. It's playing out in real time. For example, AI just helped a team formally verify a proof from a Fields Medal winner. That's basically the Nobel Prize for mathematics. It's a monumental win for science. And yet, in the very same news cycle, you have AI-powered smart glasses sparking these huge debates about privacy, and a major publication actually had to fire a journalist for using AI to completely fabricate quotes. It's wild. The exact same technology generating completely opposite headlines. So, with that complicated picture as our backdrop, who's actually building this future? Well, the first place you have to look is the industry giants. They're the ones laying down the fundamental tracks, the infrastructure that pretty much everything else is going to run on.
And of course, you've got to start with NVIDIA. When they decide to theme their biggest conference of the year around the age of AI, that's way more than just a slick marketing slogan. It's a massive signal. It's them telling the world that the hardware, the actual silicon powering this entire revolution, is about to take another major leap forward.
Then you have a cloud giant like AWS. They're tackling a really key problem for businesses with a project called NovaForge. Think of it this way. A lot of current AI is like a jack of all trades, right? It knows a little bit about everything. What AWS is trying to figure out is how to make it an expert, say a brilliant financial analyst or a top-tier medical diagnostication, without it forgetting all that other general knowledge. That is an absolutely crucial step for getting AI adopted in specialized industries.
And hey, it's not just about the big proprietary players. Together AI is making a really strategic move by rebranding to become the hub for open source AI. By focusing on connecting researchers and builders, they're really championing a different path forward, one that's all about collaborative, open, and accessible technology. Okay, so if the giants are building the highways, who's actually building the cars and the houses? Well, that's where the startups come in. We're seeing this incredible wave of new companies turning all of this raw power and theory into practical, everyday tools.
And I mean really practical stuff. You've got tools like Resinote, designed to help people prep for and land jobs more effectively. Then there's Securely, which acts like a critical security guard, stopping sensitive data from ever reaching an AI model to begin with. And then you have something like Vitalis, giving instant health data analysis, which is then, and this is key, verified by actual human doctors. Each one is solving a very specific real-world problem. So that's what's happening now. But to really see where we're going next, we've got to look at the research labs. This is where the ideas that are going to define the next 5 to 10 years are being born today. Now, the flood of new research papers can seem pretty chaotic, but if you zoom out, you can see it's really pushing AI forward in 4 main directions. First, making it safer and more countable. Second, just making it faster and way more efficient. Third, teaching it how to reason in really specialized fields like law and medicine. And finally, the really deep tech stuff, inventing entirely new architectures to unlock the next generation of capabilities. And speaking of new capabilities, one of the most exciting paradigms emerging is something called agentic frameworks. This is a huge deal. We're talking about moving away from AI that just generates text to AI systems that can actually plan, remember things, and take actions in the world to complete complex tasks. This is the shift from AI as a chatbot to AI as a genuine coworker. It's a real game changer. Which, of course, brings us full circle. Because as these systems get more powerful, more capable, more agentic, that question of responsibility becomes more urgent than ever before. We're right back to that great balancing act between progress and caution. So the crucial question is this. With this kind of exponential growth in power, how do we actually identify and manage the risks that come along for the ride? And let's be clear, this is not some future problem we can worry about later. It's a today problem. And these risks aren't abstract at all. They're already showing up as major ethical flashpoints. Meta's smart glasses are forcing a very public, very necessary conversation about constant surveillance. The AI-generated misinformation scandal is directly eroding our trust in institutions. And there's new research that shows when people know an AI is judging their work, they produce more stuff, but the quality of that work just drops.
These are tangible human consequences, and they're happening right now. And the conversation needs to be even broader. This quote from a paper called The Invisibility Hypothesis is so important. It points out that while the tech world obsesses over if we can build something like artificial general intelligence, we've paid far, far less attention to how it's going to interact with the global inequalities that already exist. Will it help close those gaps or just make them wider? So when you put it all together, the research, the corporate investments, the startups, the ethical debates, the takeaway becomes incredibly clear. The future of AI isn't just a technical horse race to see who can build the smartest thing fastest. It's a deeply complex interplay between raw innovation, strategic investment, and thoughtful governance. All three of those pieces have to work together. And that leaves us with this final, critical question. We spend so much time asking what AI can do, but the more important question, the one we really need to focus on, is what should it do? And maybe most importantly of all, who gets to decide? That's something for all of us to think about.